A man stood at the trailhead just outside a small rural town in southern Japan. There was nothing particularly remarkable about the man, average in size and build, with a sword at his waist and a single satchel slung across his shoulder. Before him, a 2-foot-wide dirt path disappeared around a bend and into the forest on the mountain. The man wondered, not for the first time, why shrines were always in such hard-to-reach places. He gazed up at the sacred mountain towering above him. Among the townspeople, it was known for testing the spirit of those who sought clarity. His teacher used to tell him about the legend surrounding the shrine at the summit and how it revealed the truth to whomever reached it. The man opened his satchel one final time to check its contents before setting off. It contained a small meal he had prepared himself, and a sealed letter from his teacher bearing the words, "Open at Toryama Shrine," along the seam. First few steps are easy, he thought, and set off. The first stretch of the trail was smooth and straight, but the incline soon began to steepen. As he climbed, memories of his early days in martial arts surfaced. Clumsy movements, the shame of fatigue, the bitter feeling of stalled progress.
"Plateaus don't last forever. Just keep going,"
his teacher used to say. He looked up the trail, breathing deeply. This mountain is no different, he thought. Just keep going. Fog began to gather as he reached a plateau midway up the mountain. It clung to the trees and curled around his legs. His thoughts thickened with the mist and grief crept in. It was easy to wallow in self-blame and sorrow. He had been dishonored, cast out, his title stripped, his possessions taken, his family gone. All that remained was his sword, once a proud warrior, now a wanderer. He lost himself in these memories, unaware of how dense the fog had become until he could no longer see the trail in front of him. A whisper floated through the mist, familiar, sharp, and painful.
"You had so much potential. You wasted it.
He froze. Questions and accusations echoed like the wind through the trees. He closed his eyes and breathed slowly to center himself as the words of his training grounded him.
"Do not give in to emotion. Keep a silent mind. No ego. Imagine your mind as a pool of perfectly still water."
These thoughts were nothing more than passing shadows. He opened his eyes. The fog was just as thick. The summit remained hidden, but now he could, just barely, make out a small patch of the trail. He took a step, and then another. His pace may have slowed, but he was still making progress. One step at a time, the fog began to lift. The trail narrowed to a ledge clinging to the mountainside, where one misstep would mean certain death. Wind howled in bursts, tugging at his clothes, threatening his balance. Here, fear crept in again, not of the past, but of the future, of everything unknown, fear of failure, of what others might think or say, of what might never come. He paused, steadying himself against the rock. Now his gaze shifted, not to the fall, but toward his goal, the ledge ahead. His feet found their rhythm. Step by step, confidence returned. The wind still howled, but he no longer trembled. He had fallen before, and he had risen. He no longer feared the fall. The shrine was reached as the sun began to creep over the horizon. It was smaller than he imagined, simple, humble, and yet it radiated a quiet presence that stilled the air around it. In front of the shrine was a small stone basin filled with water. He purified his hands and mouth, then approached the wooden structure. 2 bows, 2 claps, and with one final bow, he reflected on his journey. He made it, but didn't feel any different. His legs were tired from the climb and he was quite hungry, but there didn't seem to be anything discernibly different about him. No truth, no staggering revelation, no sudden enlightenment. Just a small wooden shrine with an empty box in the middle. So I made that climb for nothing? He thought, feeling almost betrayed. He was agitated. The hunger was getting to him. So he found a smooth stone nearby and sat down, unwrapping the meal he had packed. As he ate in silence, he watched the golden morning light spill across the valley below. When he was finished eating, he put the wrapping back in his satchel and then remembered his teacher's letter. He opened it, reading it quickly.
The box at the center of the shrine is empty because nothing outside of you can answer what only the journey can reveal.
He smiled to himself. And with one last look at the shrine and the stunning view, the man set out back down the mountain.